This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What is going on?
What's up, everybody? It's another NFC East show. And I got to imagine everybody said that they were coming today. I'm wondering where everybody's at. Of course, Washington. And, well, Sneaky was on for a minute, and then he rolled out because he was having some technical difficulties because it's a full moon, something like that's going on out there. But we do have True Blue back in the house. What's up, my man? How you feeling?
What's up, brother? Oh, same old, same old. Just, answering at the bid every Sunday now. Football's over, but we have the XFL, so we'll see where that goes,
Yeah, USFL, I think, is about to start here in another week or so, too. So it's going to be a little bit of fun watching that type of stuff. I mean, what's Johnny Manziel playing on the XFL? Is he in one of those teams? Or
I don't want to commit to that, but I don't know. After watching last night's, football games, I wasn't, there was no intrigue for me as far as the, how far the XFL is trying to stand out. I mean, the replay calling is really great. I wish, they would enhance that a little bit more in the NFL. But, right now, as I see it, the XFL is just getting off to a slow start. Hopefully it'll pick up here soon.
Gotcha. I haven't watched a lick of it yet. Not even a little drop. I am. In fact, I've been trying to figure out how I was going to be doing. Here he goes. We got another one in. And I did receive text message. Here, we'll switch this up here. This way.
How's everybody? Can y'all hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Can we hear you now? Good. Yes. Good.
Yes.
Oh, and we may have. There we are.
No way. Let our
we got the gang back together again. So it's been a long time since we've seen each other.
Yep.
Since really before Super Bowl. And I don't even think we came on the week of the Super Bowl because I was crushed. I was like, flying into Arizona and trying to do all that fun stuff. It was a lot of craziness going on, but let's start off with like some of the basic stuff. It was nice seeing the two of you guys on a commercial. I saw both True Blue and Pork Rind In an Apple commercial.
It would have been
Cardi
3.
B. I mean Rihanna. I mean Cardi B. I mean Rihanna. Because
Yeah, it would have been 3, but my phone must have been broke or something.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was fun. It was an experience. As Pork Rind can back me up on this. It was just it was an whole nother ballpark out there trying to film that for a couple of days. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. The flight there wasn't fun, but other than that, it was a pretty cool experience. What I learned is I need to do more commercials.
I'd like to get one out the way if I could. I mean, if you guys know a guy, please, I'm available. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, like I said, we were able to see it, and for the longest time, I thought it was Cardi B that was going to be playing at the Super Bowl, or at least that's how I announced it. Such is life, you know what I mean? Truth of the matter is that I wouldn't have been able to tell you who it was. So
there you go.
Yeah, and just so that everybody sees, I am wearing my conference championship hat. You know what I mean? For all the people out there that are Eagles fans, in comparison to the Cowboys or the Giants or the Commanders or anything else like that.
All right, I'd rather have a Super Bowl hat. So
I'd rather have a Super Bowl hat too. But I mean, you weren't even alive the last time you guys won, right?
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you was.
He was like what, 3? What, you 3?
No, maybe for the first one.
Wait, they won the first one. What, 81? Was it 81 or 82?
83.
That's right, 83. Yeah.
And then 87 and then 91. I was alive for all 3.
Wait, you mean the 82 season, right? Because 83, the Raiders won, right?
83,
yeah. Sorry, I'm a history football buff.
So
let me come out and say this, okay? First off, it is so good to see your guys' faces again. Of course, we still have one without a beard, but we're working on that shortly. I know. You'll have the beard on the forehead, you'll have the bit on the head, the mohawk. But anyway. I actually felt bad for you, Philly, when they lost. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny at all. It was kind of a mixed feeling for me because I'm going to tell you, I was a Chiefs fan for 3 hours. I did not want the Eagles to win. And the reason why I didn't want the Eagles to win was when your coach was doing the little bob in the head, kind of feeling himself while he was beating us, while you guys were beating us in the divisional round. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, you're feeling yourself. That must be nice. So I held on to that. And I said, y'all better win the whole thing to shut me up. And they didn't. Nick Sirianni, was not the winning coach. It was kind of, it says a lot about a coach when your own quarterback has to calm you down to be focused on the game, and I'm not saying it's not cool to be cocky. I'm not saying not being confident, but I just felt as though there was a lot of showboating going around, and I'm glad that, when the Eagles lost, I got to utilize those receipts. So I felt bad for you. And those, you guys don't know, my best friend is a diehard Eagles fan as well. Okay. He lives out in Phoenix. I called him, and then he was like, because he called me every time y'all won throughout the playoffs, he would call me, right? It never failed. Okay. Funny, I didn't get a call after the Super Bowl for whatever reason. So I called him, and first thing he said, "Oh, now you're here to gloat?" I said, "No, I feel for you." Because I told him straight up, I know exactly how you feel. Exactly how you feel. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, come on, Pork Rind.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with the coach. I liked it.
You weren't on the losing end of it. That's why you liked it.
No, I'm saying what his coach was doing. I mean, I like the fact that he's showing some emotion rather than just being there like dumbfounded. You know, my coach, he doesn't get excited too much. So it was, I like it. I personally like when the coach gets excited and shows some emotion. So, but yes, I of course wanted the Chiefs to win only because I didn't want Eagles get number 2, but I did feel bad for them. Well, but I did feel bad for, Philly because I consider him a friend and, I don't want to see any of my friends be upset or down or anything like that. So, but I'm glad the Eagles lost.
No, I wanted the NFC East to have another championship. It was one of those things. It's like you can have Kansas City win, the old Texas team, or have the Eagles win, NFC divisional rival, but it would have just added another one to the total. And it was a fun game to watch. The field, I don't know what they did with that field, but that I think the field took away a good 20% of the football game. It just didn't make any sense the way the field was. It was just there's too many slips. There was too many, it was just the footing was not there.
Yeah, they need to figure out the whole paint thing.
Yeah, it was more.
They got to put grass. They got to make a rule when you play in the Super Bowl.
That's a grass field.
It was grass.
It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't like that turf.
It was
grass?
overwatered. No, it was overwatered.
It was overwatered. It was natural grass.
Yeah.
But they didn't take care of it, and the guy who stepped in after hearing, what was going on, the old school guy actually quit. He said, "I'm not doing this anymore because of the watering of the field." He was trying to get him to stop apparently during the beginning of the week, and they didn't let it air out. So therefore, I mean, you could see it when they pulled it in. These guys were running around, and it was just wet.
See, I thought it was that turf grass. No. Because during the game they were adding the black beads, especially
they were trying to add grip. They were trying to add grip.
I know, but don't you add that for the AstroTurf?
Well, you do, but
you do.
And then you can also put that on real grass too.
Yeah, that's how.
I just learned something today.
Yeah, it was in the tray, and the tray in the process of that didn't have really good drainage either. So it was kind of like very similar to Chicago. Playing in the fishbowl.
Yep. And the sad part, I think it was an $800,000 field. $800,000 field, and the way that they went into it, and I mean that's I don't know, man. When you're with the NFL, that's one of the things that you walk. And I just couldn't believe the excuses that were being made by the NFL about the field situation. It was just horrible.
I want to say it wasn't made by the players, because you know what? That's the one thing I will say about the Eagles. Bradbury, he stepped up and he said, "I held him. I thought I was going to get away with it." And then when he was asked about not only him, but when everybody was asked about the field, they're like, they had to play on it too. They had to play on it too. And I'll give them props for that. Even Bradbury, but to be fair, that one penalty did not cost the game.
No, it did cost 80 seconds. And unfortunately, what it did was it ended the game.
Yeah.
That's in theory, that's what really occurred, because ultimately they weren't going to score the touchdown. They wanted to kick the field goal. It cost us 80 seconds that we weren't going to get back. And, you could hear all of the different things that, hey, for 546 plays before that judge never called it. Truth of the matter is that Patrick Mahomes pulled an offensive lineman play where he saw the hold, threw it long, and pointed. And that's what he did. And that's what they do when a defensive lineman jumps off sides. The offensive lineman get up now and point. And that's exactly what he did, and the ref threw the flag. So he did exactly what, I guess anybody would do. You know what I mean? He's like, he held, and there, and that's what happened. And literally that's what occurred.
However, to be fair, in the second half,
they
made
adjustments. So many other things that occurred that could have changed the outcome of that game. You know what I mean? You think about it, the defense only gave up really 24 points. I'm not including that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a great coached play to have that guy wide open, not once, but twice. You're going against coaching specifically against Gannon's defense to have him wide open. But the play to get down there, that punt return, was just horrific. And of course, the punter slipped on the field, had a shank punt, and now all of a sudden, and of course, this was the guy who wasn't there for a long time. He wasn't punting for like 6 weeks. So now he shanks one, and they run it back. They run it back to the 3-yard line, and then the next play, guy's wide open. So really, it's like they scored on that punt return.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so basically, you can't really. I don't really fault the defense for that given up touchdown. But really, they gave up only 24 points, and you know, you think about it. Okay, so the Eagles, these two teams were the best teams in the NFL, and they were too evenly matched for the Eagles to make the mistakes that they did. You know, they could get away with one. They might have been able to slip away with two, but the fact that they made 3 and 4, but that becomes it becomes too much to overcome.
For me, I think it was, unfortunately, it was the Hurts fumble that was a game changer. Now, another thing that really I thought it was ironic with, I don't know what receiver it was. I think it was Sanders. When he got leveled, I mean, he got rocked.
Right at the very beginning of the game.
No, well, it wasn't the beginning of the game. It was almost towards the end of the second half, where he to me, he caught the ball.
No, he didn't. He did.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Wait, okay. If you look at the play, I wish we need to get him. We need to get what's his name
in real
back
time.
Well, no, even in real time, he didn't
even bring the ball down and got crushed.
He caught the ball, put two feet on the ground, made a turn, then if you look at it, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, that one I specifically remember, and it was a slow motion that made it look that way. It was a slow-mo replay, but in real time,
it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
He was nowhere near having the same reaction.
I'm telling you, if you looked at it, even in real time, I saw that, and I'm like, how is that not a completion?
Well, I looked at it when I saw it in real time. I said the same thing. I thought it was a completion. Then they slowed it down, and that's actually where I said, "Nope, this isn't a catch."
Why wasn't it a catch?
Because he never made a football.
Well, first off, he actually had to double clutch the ball to start. So where you're thinking that he had a catch, he actually double clutched. By the time he got the double clutch and went to bring it down, he got hit and rocked.
Yep.
And the referees did what they were supposed to do. They let the play run out, and they called it a touchdown. But you knew right away. And trust me, I'm looking at the same thing, and I thought, I'm like, ooh, that's not a good one. I thought that they were going to give it up. But it happened way too fast. It happened way too fast. And like I said, there wasn't even a football move.
Yeah. There wasn't.
But what defines a football move?
So now,
okay, look, all right, before we get yelled at again, hear me out. I didn't see the double clutch. Even on the replay, I didn't see the double clutch. I saw the reception, 2 feet, 1, 2, then he turned. Then he got hit.
Yeah, and that's where it comes into play. The turning and the line is, that's where it comes down to. When he's trying to make, as Philly said, the double clutch. He did. The ball came in. It looked like it, but his hands came off, and then he went to re-grip it. When he was doing that motion, he was actually turning at the same time. So he had already lost. As minute as it is, the football determination of a play is him taking 2 steps forward past the line of scrimmage, or not even towards the line of scrimmage, just towards the line of scrimmage. And he didn't do that. He stayed turned, and he was sideways.
If there's a way,
that's the NFL. That's not me.
I know. If you could add that to, I don't know, share the screen of that actual play. I still believe with my heart of hearts. I mean, Pork Rind, you've been quiet. What do you think? You think it was incomplete?
I think that play cost me $300. Had that play stood, I would have won $300 because I had the square that had those points. So, yeah. But no.
Now you're out.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was a catch. I mean, it was close.
It was close. It was really close, but it was just and that's the thing, the football move.
It was like a bang bang play, man. I mean,
it's not about
Okay.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about the catch now is that the move is considered moving away from the line of scrimmage.
He was.
No, he didn't. His feet were still.
I wish there was a way that I can share it and then we can see it and even dissect it. I don't mind being proven wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But from what I saw, and I saw that play, like I'll say maybe 100 times since the Super Bowl, and I'm like, what the hell is a reception then? How is that not? Because my thing is a football move. He caught it, turned. As he, 1-2, then got rocked. Now, if he would have muffed it or no control whatsoever, I get it. But I didn't see that. I saw a completion.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, if we're going to go by this ruling, and of course we can agree that the officiating in the NFL is not consistent. Okay, my passing interference is different than Pork Rind's passing interference. No pun intended, Pork Rind.
Yeah.
We won that game fair and square.
Yeah,
we won it fair and square. but I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make here. Like, what is because Hodges, when we played against Detroit, same thing. He caught the ball, got rocked, fumbled it, and then it was turned over to Detroit. There's no consistency whatsoever in officiating, because I'm just
that's where I'm
baffled.
saying in real time I thought he actually caught it, and then they showed the replay, and once they showed the replay I was like, man, that's still close. And then from what I saw at the slow-mo, then they went back to the real time, and I was like, yeah, he didn't catch that just because of that move. You're saying he took 2 steps, but those were the same steps that he was already in, trying to establish himself.
No, he caught the ball, then to complete the I'm watching it right now. Hold on. I'm watching it right now. Boom. Because I didn't mean to burp on the mic. I'm sorry.
I'm downloading the video actually, so that we'd be.
Okay, I'm watching it right here. He caught it. There was no double clutch. There's one.
I thought it was going to be hard for them to overturn it just because they let the play out.
Right, because the initial call was touchdown.
Okay, yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it has to be indisputable evidence for it to be reversed. Right. I don't know if you're showing the.
Right.
It all comes down, and again, it's the officiating we've been complaining about all year. It's the consistency we've been complaining about all year. And the NFL still hasn't done anything to correct themselves. And then, now people are watching the XFL and seeing the way that the replay system's done there, where it's out in the open, showing the determination of
showing the process.
Yeah. And I don't think the NFL is ever going to do that. But the thing is that there's some transparency there to say, okay, this is what.
I don't know if you guys heard this, but the owners are actually thinking about questioning, what do you call it? Roughing the passer. They're going to be able to review roughing the passer plays.
In the NFL?
Yes. The competition committee, the owners are going to have, there's a possibility that the owners are going to be able to vote
on it.
Vote on it if they can.
Meeting in a couple of weeks.
And also
the Phillies.
The owners are going to be voting on that little wedge.
The scrum.
Yeah, that little quarterback sneak where you can push
That's
the
not
quarterback.
going away. I'm telling you, that's not going away.
Well,
And the reason
people
why
are
it's
voting.
not going away is
I'm
because
not saying
they're
it is.
gonna
I'm
always
saying they're
help the
just going to be
offense.
voting on that, and I think that's so freaking petty. Just because Philly does it the best than any, because they couldn't stop it.
Find a way to stop it.
Exactly.
And I tell you what, there are teams that could stop it. You know,
Well,
and I tell you,
Kansas
we
City
could have
almost
stopped
did.
anyone else from doing it.
Yeah.
See, I'm under the other impression they're going to stop it, and the reason on being the angle of the lineman, they're going to consider it a chop block.
Yeah.
As low as they're going, they're going, underneath the knees and the shins, and which is fine. But the thing is, the competition committee is going to see it as, a chop block of some
As a
sort.
safety.
So, I'm going to get to this. I'm going to show this video.
Okay, yeah, please.
This is somebody else's opinion. So this is a minute and a half long.
I think it was the same thing we saw.
Over.
Is it a minute and 31?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, another not a catch, is it a catch situation. It's crazy how these things keep bubbling up, too, in this one already. We still have plenty of time to go. So here's the situation. First, just watch what happens. Hurts is going to flip this one to Miles Sanders, who is it incomplete? Is it a catch? It ended up getting returned for a touchdown, but was that the correct call or not? Well, we're obviously not going to be able to tell from this angle. Let's look at a different angle that'll make it easier for us. So this angle is the one, and let's keep in mind what is or isn't a catch. So first, we're in this situation. This is, you see that Miles Sanders has both of his feet down. So what you have to do once your feet are down, you gotta get 2 feet in bounds, and then you have to make a football move. Make an act common to the game. It could be another step, or it can be reaching the ball out, trying to, whatever it is, but you have to do something. Does he make an act common to the game after putting his second foot down? As you see, I think clearly no. I think he moves forward a little bit, but just a little bit. I mean, you can turn downfield. That can be an act common to the game, but I don't think he did it enough. I actually like this overturn. I mean, even on the slow motion replay, we're talking about just like a second that I was able to play it, and this is the slow motion replay. I mean, this is just a blink of an eye, gets a second foot down, and gets hit almost immediately after to lose the ball. I don't think that's enough time to warrant an act common to the game. I liked the no call, as in the overturn, but that's what I think. Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.
Yes, I disagree. He even admitted he turned just a little bit.
It doesn't matter.
He didn't even he didn't even get another step.
And you don't see both feet down. You really don't see. He didn't show that.
Both feet are down.
It looks like both feet are down, but you don't see it from that angle.
Both feet are
might be down, but
both feet.
He didn't.
No, but the thing is, he didn't.
He didn't make a step.
The line of scrimmage, that's the whole point. His body, that's where it comes into play. His body, the line of scrimmage, that's the move. If he would have got turned around full left step, he would have been fine. It would have been a catch.
I'm okay with agreeing to disagree. Because he even admitted.
That's okay. You're wrong.
He even admitted. No, I'm not wrong. I'm not. I am right. I am right.
That's just another. Another.
I have no problem admitting I'm.
This is the problem with Giants fans, that they're just wrong all the time.
No. That's funny. No, he even said he turned just a little bit, but not enough. What?
Yeah, you got it. That's the move.
What?
You got
he didn't make the move. He didn't even get a chance to complete the move. Is what you're talking about.
I would say,
and you were already saying it.
I would say the same thing. If a giant, even if a giant did that, I would say Hodges. I mean, Hodges. The same scenario with Hodges.
I could tell this is salt coming out because he's about to lose both Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones.
45 million? You out your damn mind. You out your damn mind. Hey, you know what? Might as well pick up Carson, and then he'll play on Dallas, so he goes through the East, shoot.
Yeah.
45 million. Yeah, no.
Hey, did I?
And I see Birdman. Birdman, there's no hate here. I mean, true, I wasn't rooting for the Eagles in the first place, but I'm just like, we need to get Paul. What's his name? But not Donato, the ref guy. We need to get him on here. No, not
No,
tackle.
no, no. What's his face? I know who you're talking about. Dean Blandino.
He's doing the XFL now.
Right, Dean Blandino. He's busy right now because he is in charge of that for the XFL. So,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
it may be tough to get him, but I'll see what I can do. I can see what I can make happen. That all being said, I listen. I mean, I obviously it was disappointing to lose the Super Bowl, but I was not as strongly upset as other Eagles fans were. Like I said, I thought that these were, and you could say whatever you want about Patrick Mahomes being drugged up to the nth degree.
That's
I mean, I heard a great rendition of exactly what had happened with him in the locker room.
Mr. Miyagi got him.
No. So no. Truth of the matter is, and it was actually explained very, very well. That because the halftime show was 37 minutes, that the process that it took for him to cut off the tape, get rub down all of the swelling from the ankle with the two metal bars that they use, shoot it up with the Lanacaine and rub it back down again, tape it back up and get him back out there. That whole process took 32 minutes. That gave him 5 extra minutes to throw the football around, because you have to give like 10 minutes for the Lanacaine. You got to make sure that there isn't an adverse setting or something adverse with that or what have you. Had that happened in a normal game, even in the conference championship, he would not have been able to come back out. He would have been late to the game.
Yep.
Late to come back to the game. So the fact that Roger Goodell did whatever he did, listen, Roger Goodell is going to ass kiss whoever won the Super Bowl. It wasn't going to matter. He would have hugged Jalen Hurts and says, "Man, you should have been the MVP this year." You know what I mean? That's exactly what he would have said if Jalen Hurts was able to win a game. So I don't think that has any bearing. The fact he says, "I don't care how you hit the quarterback." That's what he said. I don't care how you hit the quarterback. Of course, he's like doing whatever. He's talking bullshit. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal, and I'm not as concerned about that. Wow, I just cursed twice on here.
I heard that. I'll be honest. I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that he said that. But how much control does Goodell have with the refs that are on the field?
He doesn't.
Zero. So he could say what he want and how he said it. Is it a good look? No, not at all. Not at all. But the effect that he had on the field, zero. Absolutely zero.
I'll tell you the biggest story about that Mahomes injury is the story that just came out this past week with former player of the Dallas Cowboys and Miami Dolphins, Byron, and he came out and says he can't even walk or jump anymore. This is a man who jumped 12 foot 3 inches, and he's saying he can't even walk or jump. So, these guys are going to be taking into account their health. They better start looking at it right now, because if he went inside that locker room and did what he did with that injection, it's just going to, it's going to take a toll on him when he gets older. So I don't think
he's worrying about that now.
Well, you're not worried about it right now.
I mean, it's the same thing about concussions. I mean, they're there. We know what happens. But
it's a little worse. It's a little worse when we're all getting up there in age. But these guys, for a guy who has only been in the league for 7 years, he's coming out. He says he can't even walk anymore. He can't run. He can't jump. The guy's a kid still. He's 30, 31 years old. He can't even perform those feats anymore. And the NFLPA is going to back him up on this. So we're going to see what's going to go on with this coming up front. These injections or whatever they're doing is going to be looking really bad.
They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to do nothing. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, the NFLPA. And Aaron, everybody wants to talk about whatever. The truth of the matter is that you just got to people are going to throw shade. So the fact, trust me, he was drugged up to no end. He wasn't feeling any pain whatsoever, but he still had to make all the throws. He still had to do everything that he needed to do.
And he made that big key run in the end too.
Well, you know what? And that run, I tell you, it was a shame because Epps slipped, but he didn't just slip. He did a split. You don't see that on the TV, but I saw 100%, and Mahomes saw it. And because of that, the line he would have taken, Mahomes would have gotten a first down, but Epps would have gotten him much sooner. But the fact that he was able to run 35 yards or 45 yards was because Epps did a split. And then by the time he was able to get himself right again to start running after him, he couldn't get there. So again, it was one of those slips again that really kind of caused that problem. Again,
well, Mahomes slipped a little
it
bit
is,
before the start of the run.
Well,
he kind of lost his footing a little bit too, but then just got it himself.
What's even crazier, that must have been some good stuff, because at the parade, I don't know if you saw when he hands a trophy off to one of the fans and just walks away, because he was feeling that good still.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, even not only the parade, he was dancing with Minnie. He was dancing with Minnie Mouse because he went to Disneyland the next day.
Oh no, that was great when he handed the trophy to the fan and just turned around and walked away. And they were like, "You think you forgot something there?"
So,
what is that? So real quick, what does that say about Mahomes? He's a great quarterback. He's young. He's early in his career. He already has 2 Super Bowls. Let's be real. So, but he's been to 3 Super Bowls total. Yep. 1, 2. They're still on this ridiculous streak
5 conference championships. 5 conference championships.
Exactly. In a row. All in Kansas City.
Yep.
I mean, we have to now, when anytime we have a conversation about who's going to take over the AFC, Kansas City has to be in that conversation until someone knocks them off. And
with 7 rookies,
it's almost like they've taken New England. Well, of course, because Brady left, New England's no longer on that mountain anymore. It's now Kansas City.
Kansas City, yep.
Yeah, and not only that, they had 7 rookies playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you have to think about that. There's an easy 4 or 5 years out of those guys. So,
and the fact
but those rookies were on the defensive side, and we already saw what happened on the defensive side. Again, it's one of those situations where I believe that, had the, and I'm going to give a little bit of blame to the Eagles equipment manager. Had the equipment manager did his job a little better, he would have known exactly what cleats to have instead of having the pile of cleats.
Yep, I saw that. I was like, oh.
There's lessons to be learned here all the way across. This was a franchise loss. It was a total team loss. I said that I didn't think we would lose any game that we would lose focus to, and it makes me wonder if Gannon didn't lose a little focus because he knew he wasn't going to get on the plane because he was going to be there in Arizona. You know what I mean? I can't blame Steichen because they scored 35 points. You know what I mean? They were able to recover from the fumble return for a touchdown, and which again was one of those plays where everybody seemed to slip because it was right at that right spot. All the offensive linemen slipped right at the same exact time. Literally, it was like most ridiculous thing I've seen, where there was like 5 guys that were there. There was nobody else around Jalen Hurts when he fumbled that ball.
Here's the thing, too. One of your coaches just left to go coach in Arizona, didn't he?
Both of them left.
Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That Gannon was the defensive coordinator. So that's what I'm saying. He knew. That's why I think that there was a loss of focus there. That he wasn't really necessarily 100% concerned with winning the game or not paying 100% attention because he was figuring that he's going to not even get on the plane.
Well, that's
I can't agree with that.
I think the NFL, and I'm not saying we're trying to hold anybody from getting a job opportunity, but I think if you're the owner of the NFL franchise, your team, you don't allow your players to go out and get interviews during your playoffs and during that scenario because it happened to multiple teams. Kansas City Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy, Kellen Moore, he was getting interviewed during the playoffs, and it's just like these guys aren't focused, and your guys too. You take away from you're supposed to be there for us. You do this on your own time. When you're done, we're going to allow it. But while you're here, while we're in the playoffs, we're not going to allow you to go interview for some other team.
I'll agree with you on that. I will agree with you on that. But it's hard for me to agree with a coach already with one foot out the door when you got a Super Bowl ring in the cusp.
Exactly.
It's really hard for me to I don't know. Maybe you're right, Philly. Maybe you're right. Maybe he was like, you know what? I'm not getting on the
Well,
plane.
no, I don't think he deliberately wanted to
It's
lose.
not deliberate.
I'm not
but
saying
it's
deliberately.
just
No,
a-
it's just.
I'm
it's
just saying the mental aspect. Yeah, like one foot out the door type thing. I just can't. And that's just me. Because if I know it's hard, we can agree that it's hard to win in the NFL. Though we've never coached the game, we've never played in a game. We're just diehard fans. It's hard. It's hard to actually win a game. It's even 20 times hard to win the Super Bowl. And there's no guarantees. Philly may not be back next year. There might be another team that goes on this magical run, Giants, and then goes into the Super Bowl. One can only hope.
Quarterback or running
But
back.
what I'm saying, we don't know yet. The franchise tag is still out. But what I'm saying is, even if he has one foot out the door, he still has to have that focus, that that wanting to get that ring to take, because having a conference championship is great, right? You guys got a ring, got the conference ring, that's good. But just being in the Super Bowl, we all know for some that's not enough. You got to have the Lombardi Trophy on your finger.
Of course. But the thing is like what you're saying, the mentality aspect of it. When you're interviewing for a position while you're at another position for another organization during the playoffs, and I'm not just saying the Super Bowl, I'm saying playoffs in general.
Right.
You're taking away the focus, and you're getting on a plane to go travel somewhere else to turn back around and come back, because they're not going to do these phone interviews. They want to get a feel. They want to ask the questions. They want to ask what you see on film. It's a whole barrage of questions. But the thing is, you're taken away from your team by doing this. And if I'm sitting there as a player and I see my coach or my coordinator going somewhere else to go interview while we're being coached for the Super Bowl, I'm just not going to feel the same. I'm going to lose not only the respect, but I'm going to have some trust issues there, because he's not fully engulfed in what we're doing. And so I'm going to have to say, as a player, I don't trust this guy, coach. I just don't trust him. He's not focused on us. He's focused on other things. So, and I think that's one of the reasons Eric Bieniemy, he left from Kansas City to come to Washington, because he's already been, and he's a great coach.
We interviewed him after the Super Bowl.
Well, he was, I'm not going to say the wrong word is poaching, coaches. But the thing is, there was conversations during the playoffs. Hey, we want to talk to you. And of course, he's talking. Andy Reid doesn't know what's going on, but none of these guys know what's going on. It's just a conversation that these coaches are having with organizations. And again, as a player, I'm thinking, well, this guy's not fully 100% on ride with us. And you have to look at it that way as a player.
And you think Lamar Jackson's going to go to the Commanders? Here we go. Just because I see this.
No.
That's Adam Silver, he played a really good prank on it was Ian Rappaport, I think it was. Was it Ian Rappaport? Adam Schefter. Yeah, Adam Schefter did a really good prank on a podcast about Lamar going to I wouldn't be surprised, but they're going to put a franchise tag on him.
He's not going to Commanders.
Would you
want him though?
Man, I don't know, man. The thing with Lamar is every year he gets hurt now. So I had RG3 and I thought he was the answer. And, he had a great rookie year. And then against the Ravens, that's when he messed up his knee. And he should have been shut down then and just rode with Kirk Cousins throughout. We weren't going to make it to the Super Bowl. We knew that. So you might as well just shut him down. But, I think it was him and Shanahan just didn't see eye to eye, and Shanahan should have shut him down, but didn't, and let him come back in and playing on that field in December, January.
Right. I do got a question to ask you, and it's just something that water cooler talk, what do you call it, barbershop talk. Did Rivera lose the team for starting Wentz that last game that he played?
You're talking about against the Browns when we still had
you guys were in playoff contention.
No, I don't
think a lot on the line.
I don't think he lost the team. Yeah, I don't think he lost the team because I mean they came back the very next week and played good against the Cowboys. So I don't think that he lost the team. Um, he just felt Wentz gave him the best chance, and because Heineke was on that downward spiral that we seen from time to time. So um, he probably should have never put Wentz in. Obviously, I don't think we would have. I don't know if we would have won the game against the Browns or not. I mean, the offense just looked horrible. So, but I mean, I'm glad to see him go.
Now, with the enemy there,
Yep.
what expectations do you have with him there, with his history with Mahomes? I mean, if because right now all you have right now is what Howell, right?
Yeah,
Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Is Heineke still there, or
He's going to be a free agent?
okay? So, do you see him? Do you see Howell making a huge leap?
I mean, time will tell.
I'll tell you what's going to happen with them. The draft. This year's quarterback selections is going to be tremendous. And I mean, I saw the kids throwing this past week.
I did too.
I think Washington's going to make a move to move up to get, especially with Bieniemy as an offensive coordinator. The amount of QBs that this year's draft have, I think Washington might move and take a step and try and get up there in the draft. I just don't feel that Washington is comfortable with who they have, so they're going to try and make a splash in the draft.
They're saying all the right things. They're saying how's their guy, this and that. But I mean, some of the mock drafts that I've seen, I think it was round 5, they picked a kid from Georgia.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? I mean,
I
don't know. I don't want to give up. I'm tired of like giving up future draft picks, like what we've done with RG3, and then who was Dwayne Haskins.
Well, see, that's where I'm saying. I know Washington. The first round for Washington has been defense. What, for the past 5-6 years?
Well, last year, yeah. Besides last year, yes, it has been.
Yeah. See, so I think with the new coordinator, with the new OC, Washington's going to want to make a splash and go with a QB.
You guys are at 16, so you guys are going to have to jump.
The early mock drafts that I've seen is we're going to go for a defensive back. I've seen Joey Porter from Penn State, but I don't know, the way he looked last weekend, he might have worked his way to the top 10 possibly.
I thought you guys need like an edge rusher or a tight end help.
Edge rusher, no. Tight end, I mean, we could probably use a tight end, but it's weird. They're talking about that they're good with tight end because, I mean, Logan Thomas is coming. Last year when he came back, he was still within a year of having an ACL injury. So they're thinking that he'll be back to his normal self this year. So we'll see. But, I mean, we've got some, good young tight ends too. We've got a good young blocking tight end with John Bates, and then we just drafted last year. I can't think of his name right now. Big tall boy from I can't think of his name right this second. But he was injured for the first half of the season. But
yeah, you just gotta look at it from a coaching standpoint from your new OC, and you got to remember this is a guy who got Mahomes in there to KC after studying him, and I can guarantee you. I like Eric Bieniemy. He is a great offensive coordinator, and he is going to go in there and he's going to make a splash. He is going to talk to Rivera and he's going to go. I can almost want to guarantee that you guys are going to get a QB in the first round.
We'll see.
I got to ask, do you guys have an owner yet?
Yeah, we still got an owner.
Well, I'm not saying Schneider. He don't count. I'm saying
that's our owner right now.
Is he still? I mean, is it still up for sale or what?
Still up for sale.
All right. Hey guys, I got 5.
Yeah, we're gonna
dollars.
Better have some billions behind that. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be too much longer. So, I know the XFL game in DC this past Sunday, there was a F Dan Snyder chant going on. I'm like, just chill out. You guys are gonna, Just let them be, let them
So-
sell, and then move on.
I mean, we got like 10 minutes left in the show. XFL. We've been bringing that up for the last, on and off here.
Haven't watched the snap.
It's Philly. True.
Yeah, I was watching it last night.
I actually was watching it too. I was this close, like really close to be a Renegade season ticket holder. And I held out because I'm going to the IFL, the Indoor Football League, here in a couple weeks. And I just couldn't add that to my plate. And also Mama Boss said no. So the funding was not approved for that endeavor. I may still check out a game though. Down in Arlington.
That's what Philly and I were discussing before the show is he said the USFL is coming in, and I'm seeing the XFL right now, and it just, they're getting started. It's a lot of hype behind it. I think, the players are having fun out there, but it's just not the same with the players. The players are
no. What I love about the difference between XFL and USFL is that the NFL is actually backing this league up as part of their minor league system. And I didn't even realize that the NFL or football in general is the only professional sport that does not have a minor league system.
Yep.
So the fact that Goodell is bringing in the XFL, that would be awesome. But what I would love to see, the XFL and the USFL, and then they meet in the championship game. That would be awesome.
I think one of the biggest flaws that I have for both leagues is the uniforms. They just it's kind of like the NFL Europe when they had those uniforms that were just the crazy logos and everything. I think if they would just tone that stuff down a little bit, you can focus on the players.
It's because we're so used to the NFL.
Exactly.
That's why.
You just want to tone it down a little bit on the colors, on the scheme of things. But also, I was looking at the plays. I'm looking at the linemen. Last night I was watching San Antonio and Houston, and I'm sitting there looking at the offensive line, and I'm looking at the defensive line, and I'm looking at when the ball's being snapped and the views. They have great camera views, I'll tell you that. Something that the NFL can take into consideration. But you can see the big mistakes that the offensive linemen were doing, not filling the gaps, not when they were supposed to be pulling.
Well, I'm with you. I love the fact that they actually put us in the huddle.
Yeah.
And you can hear the play calling. For me, that's what get my nipples hard. And, when you, like you said, you see how the play is diagrammed on the field. Pork Rind, get your head out the gutter, okay? I'm telling you what excites me, all right? But yeah, the way that they legitimately put you in the huddle.
Yeah, and I think right now the plays that are being called, I'm just watching from the standpoint of a fan. They just need to. I'm not going to say dumb it down a little bit. They just need to get an understanding of how the game should be played. And you got some ex-NFL coaches in there, and that's what I just don't understand.
Well, they are dumbing it. Well, the commentators do dumb it down for a little, for those that aren't.
Well, the commentators do,
savvy as we are,
Yeah, but go in there and look at next time. Just go look at, just try and follow one of the games, and you're going to be like, "Well, this doesn't make sense." And because you can see it break down. You can see it break down from when they run out of the huddle to the snap. It's just.
Are you okay, down. Philly? You got something? You got something brewing? You all right?
Yeah, because everybody jumped off the moment we started talking about the XFL. We went from like 8 viewers to 0 the moment we started talking about the XFL. So yeah, I got this brewing. It's brewing that the XFL sucks, and so does the USFL. And we got more things to talk about like, hey, the draft is coming. You got no quarterback right now. You got no running back right now for the Giants. Actually, that it would be smart if they actually gave the tag to Saquon, because to give him the tag right now is like it's only going to cost him $10.5 million because he would only be the top 5 rather than $15 million, which is what he wants. But and then you got no quarterback because he wants $150 million for 2 years. You know what I mean? So because he thinks he's that good.
So okay, so the first off, it was a rumor at first when he switched agencies from CAAA, whatever it was, to now Players First. The agency he was with at first was, salty about him leaving, and put out this false rumor. But then it turned out he wants more than 45 million.
50.
I don't know what's real anymore. All I know is they're going to do what they can, and unfortunately, what it looks like from Shane and his press conference he'd had in the draft all this week was the priority is Jones. They want to sign Jones. The plan is to sign Jones to an extension, and then put the tag on Barkley for next year. Barkley to get his payday. So either way,
Yeah.
I would like for both of it to be done, but I don't know. Maybe Jones need to do what Rodgers does and go in 4 days of darkness and come out and see the light and realize that he's not getting no $45 million.
I don't see Barkley getting anything else but tagged. I mean, Tony Pollard was tagged today, and it's just at running back situations, especially for Saquon with the history of injuries, I just don't see him getting signed for a long-term contract. So if he's getting $10 million for this year for a tag, I would take it, because right now the running back market is just it's going to be down significantly also with this draft because there's so many running backs coming up. So
it was rumored
take it while you can get it.
He wants McAllister type money, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they were offering him either 12.5 million. I can't remember if it was 12.5 or 14 million. And
How about Geno Smith getting $52 million this year and 105 million?
Yeah.
Well,
but he got like $100 million deal. Or what about
So did
Carr?
$5 million.
Carr got the same thing.
What about
150
he
million.
got guaranteed
Yeah,
60 million?
100.
Well, his whole contract's 100, but he got guaranteed 100.
No, he got 150, 100 million guaranteed.
Gee.
So, yeah, he's
And
in
then
the
on
driver's
PTI
seat there.
they talked about his NFL starting record at like 60 something and 79.
Yes.
But let's be fair, the Raiders really didn't have a strong enough defense the whole
Yeah.
time.
They didn't have a coaching staff that was
No.
Yeah.
there. But as we see, the Bears are the top, one choice, and they're going to be shopping that around.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Houston is not. I don't think Chicago is going to get anything for the number one where they're at right now, and they really are in the driver's seat. Seeing Billy's comment, but they've got their quarterback. They just need some key players on the offensive side of the ball to help Fields out. And I with the players that are in this draft, I got to get him some protection.
Right.
So
right.
you got to keep that one position unless you're going to be trading with Houston and they're going to be taking a quarterback. I just don't see them giving up as much.
Well, if you can trade your number one pick into a spot to where you can still get the player that you want to get.
That's what I'm saying.
Like they can still get a
Houston,
top lineman.
Houston, I mean, again, there's enough quarterbacks in this draft where if I'm sitting number 2, I'm not moving anywhere. I'm just going to be sitting there. Right. Number 3, I might want to make some movement, but again, there's enough quarterbacks. 1, 2, 3, I stay where I am. There's no reason to move. Now 5 and 6,
the Falcons at number 3.
Yeah, and at 5 and 6, that's where you start to come into question based on the quarterbacks that may be going. Atlanta's going to be taking one.
Well, I kind of feel like that even at number 10, where the Eagles are at, at number 10, that spot is still going to have quarterbacks. I think you're going to see 6 or 7 quarterbacks taken in the top 10. And I think that there's going to be a lot of movement for that.
Oh, yeah.
And ultimately, I think that, that's what makes it like with Washington. Well, I think Washington could want to move up into the number 10 or 9 spot or 8 spot.
Yeah, that's where I've said Eric Bieniemy, he's going to make a splash. I think he's going to want one of these quarterbacks that's up and coming. And, you got the kid from Florida. That kid, I've seen him throw the ball, and I was just like, wow. 65.
And I know,
in the air.
Yeah.
And I know I keep mentioning this name. I don't know if I mentioned it here on you guys or not, but I as of right now, he didn't have the greatest of combines, from what I understand. But Tyson Bagent, who is a DC fan, you know what I mean? He grew up as a Commanders fan, and he's from West Virginia, so but right across the border, right like near Sterling, Virginia, and stuff like that, like in Charlestown, West Virginia. So right on that leg of West Virginia that's really close to DC. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys grabbed him, but he would be like a third or fourth round pick. So I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were able to pick him up. Now he is a Division II quarterback, but he broke every record there was, in Division II. And the things that they're talking about where he doesn't excel in, I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, he had to play against competition. You're still going up against, I know you're going up against Division II competition, but you got Division II blockers too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
right.
Division II rushers. So the things that they're talking about, I'm like, hold on. He threw like for 114 touchdowns and like 17 interceptions, and you're saying that he makes bad decisions? I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand where you can come up with that. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him in Commander's Red. Just my thing.
These are these are the same people that drafted a 10-time Super Bowl appearance quarterback in the 6th round. Tom Brady. Yeah, just want to say that.
He had the slowest 40 time of all time.
He sure did. And they said he had an okay arm too, by the way. He had an okay arm.
Yeah, so and if Mel Kiper picks him in the 8th round, the 7th round, then I think that he's probably a 3rd round talent.
No doubt there.
Mel Kiper is the most ridiculous man that there is. So,
and
but anyways,
hey,
listen. Yeah, exactly. That's why we only see him once a year. But hey, our hour is up. I appreciate everybody hanging with us today. It was great having the band back together again, and hopefully we'll be able to do it again next week where we're all together again. We'll have a little bit more. Probably some more signings. We'll see what happens as the Giants helmet turns on whether Daniel Jones is there, Saquon Barkley's there, or neither is there.
I got my alerts at the ready.
Isn't it a week from Wednesday's free agents, right?
The 7th. They said something like the 7th.
Tomorrow, the end of the tag. No.
Yeah. It's like the 7th or the 8th or something. There's something like these next couple days.
Yeah, I thought you had to be tagged by tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow, and then it was a week from that. I thought it was like the 15th.
The 15th is when free agency begins, then, right?
Yeah.
So I thought. Now,
I didn't realize there's 2 types of tags out there. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, no, there's 3.
There's 4.
Yeah,
there's really 4 types. So there's exclusive, non-exclusive, transition, and then flub tag, whatever it is.
Franchise.
Well, no. You have the franchise exclusive and then non-exclusive.
Yeah,
then you have the transition tag, and then there's like that 4th tag. I don't know what it is. It's like, hey, we want to pay you some money, but if somebody else wants to take you, then they can have you.
Yep.
We will soon find out.
No. Actually, it's not like that. I think it's the right of first refusal, and then you get one of those 2nd or 3rd round picks. You designate that tag. It's the designation tag, I think, is what it is.
Right.
So if somebody takes you and you don't want to sign them for the money that they're signing you for, you get like a compensatory pick.
There you go.
So
something like that.
Exactly. Right, Well, anyways, everybody, thank you very much for hanging with us, and we will see you guys next week on the NFC East show. And as always,
Giants.
Go Birds.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah. I get last. Go Birds, because we are